Hey Bubble family, welcome back to the channel. So look at this. I got this from my friend today, my friend Becky, who is like a sister to me. Just got this in the post today and I'm so, it couldn't have come at a better time. It's actually wonderful. And not only that, I'm getting an arm workout as well. So it's kind of like a win-win. But look at how pretty it is. Isn't it lovely? What a pretty color. So yeah, so thank you to my lovely friend. So in this video, before I do my little bit of waffle, in this video I'm going to be talking about Meghan Markle part 3. This is going to be her adult years. This is going to be from when she graduated at Northwestern to around before she met Harry, because tomorrow is going to be breaking down when she met Harry. So for any of you who would like to bypass the waffle, the description, no, the timestamp is in the description box for the people that do not like my waffle, and I know there's a couple of you, so please check the description box, or you can click on the video and you can jump right to the part where I'm talking about what the intro is about. So for the rest of you who like waffle, do you know what? I went down the rabbit hole last night of looking into Doria. I got myself a VPN and I decided to start doing a little bit of digging, and a lot more come up. So I think I'm going to do a video on Doria. I'm going to do a little bit more deep diving, but a few things have come up. And I have a theory, which I'm going to talk about in that video. I have now a theory based on what I found out. I've got some fluff. On what I have found out. It's very interesting. But yeah, so today's been a bit cooler. I also, just want to say that if you don't want a video on Doria, I won't do it. But if you do, which I think you might do, then I will. Just let me know in the comments. So it's been a bit cooler today, and but oh boy, it wasn't a particularly great night last night, and then I woke up with a really bad headache. I nearly said hangover. Nearly said hangover, but that would be a lie because I don't drink. So I have the odd drink, but I certainly didn't drink last night. So to wake up with a hangover would be a pretty tall order, considering I didn't have any alcohol last night. But it nearly come out. I nearly said woke up with a hangover. Back in those days. So no, I woke up with a really bad headache this morning, and I think that's a lot to do with the pressure, because we had a bit of a storm, but not much. So yeah. But it's been cooler today, but still very warm. So that's why I'm going to blow my fan, my very posh fan. So if you would like to join me in this video where you discuss it in the comments and talk about this particular subject, you should know what to do by now. Grab your drink of choice, and today I have cheers written on the glass. Cheers. And this today is pineapple, orange and pink grapefruit. I decided to mix it up because that's how I roll. Thought I'd mix it up a bit. And but you could add a splash of vodka to that, if that is your choice. I just realized as well that I feel like where I've sweated a bit, because unfortunately I have to draw on my eyebrows a little bit, but one of them looks darker than the other where I've sweated. Honestly, I think if I don't I think wearing makeup in this weather is just pointless, but a lot of the time when I come on camera I like to at least make a little bit of an effort for you guys and for my clients. So not like I've just rolled out of bed, but yeah, unfortunately you can see I'm a bit sweaty already. Fan. I haven't opened it up. So grab your drink of choice, whether it be tea, coffee, or what I've done. Maybe you want to mix it up a little bit, and that's okay. Add a splash of vodka to this, or a nice cool gin and tonic, or a rosé, because actually a cold rosé in this warm weather is very lovely. Or maybe a bit of sparkling, because we like a bit of sparkling. So grab your drink of choice and let's dive right in. So, Bubbles, in today's video, it's probably going to be a bit later by the time I've uploaded this today, because I have been working solidly all day and tried to fit the time in to get the video. But I found myself doing a bit more research. I have to say it's very time consuming doing these longer videos. So I hope you are proud of me, the fact that I sit there tirelessly going through YouTube and online trying to find information. So obviously I want to talk about, as yesterday, and if you haven't seen my other videos, part 1 and part 2, they will be at the end, so you can click on those on the end of this video. But around the time she graduated from Northwestern was around I think 203 2003, and apparently she knew Trevor in the early 2000s, so she knew of him. So I did try to find whether, because you got to remember, if she knew him, you know, when she graduated, you know, she would be, so she's 18. So she was 18 when she left. Just want to make sure I get this right. So she was 18 when she left Immaculate Hearts. So then if she graduated in 2003, and I think she graduated in 1999, so that's another 4 years. So she would have been 22 when she graduated Northwestern. So the information that I found in the fact that she knew Trevor, that I'm wondering if there was a connection with her father, because if she knew of him in the early 2000s, then she would have been around 18, 19 around that time. But there was also footage where she said at around 18, she wasn't talking to her father. And Trevor is, I believe, older than her. So I find it interesting that she was obviously kind of around that young age, mixing with perhaps a knowing of Trevor. Now, this is either perhaps to do with her father, but I'm pretty sure by this point her father wasn't working, because I know, and because this is where I've delved into this. So I'm not going to talk too much about that, because I want to talk about that in the Doria video. But I find it interesting that there are reports that she knew Trevor before. So I wonder if there was in kind of, you know, we know how she's kind of, she seeks people out. Once someone's a mark, she seeks them out. And so I wondered if Trevor was perhaps one of her marks in a way. It's like she started to kind of think, this is what I want to do. How can I orchestrate this? Because I think that she's got this very calculated way about her. Now, obviously, as she's grown up, she's used manipulation, like I say, as a child does. And a lot of children do it. And I certainly wouldn't, like I say, I would never talk badly about that per se, because a lot of children do what she's done, but don't turn out the way she has. But it seems to me that she's got this kind of way where she sets her sights on something and she finds a way to manipulate the situation to get it. And a lot of the time in the beginning, it was either to do with her father, like getting what she wanted from him. And then you see that the men that she dates are the next stage. So she meets, obviously, then Trevor in 2004, and they start dating around that time. So I think to myself, did she maneuver herself in those circles, knowing that obviously he was an up and coming producer and starting his own film company. So for her, I think this was the perfect opportunity, because this was the next rung of the ladder. You know, here's someone who's setting up this production company, and so for her, she's probably like, well, I'm going to get roles. Not realizing actually how serious Trevor was in the way he worked. And it was kind of like, doesn't matter that I'm dating you. If you're not suitable for the role, I'm not going to give you that role. I got a mark. Oh, it's a shadow. I'm not going to give you that role. And I think that kind of led then to the frustration with her. So obviously she's dating him. Now it's interesting again to me, because narcissists are not very good in relationships unless the person is someone that dotes on them. And I believe, from what I've seen and heard, is that Trevor absolutely doted on her. So I think there's an element of we have a term here where it's kind of punching above your weight. So it's almost like when someone feels that someone's too good for them, or that they kind of put them on that pedestal. And I wonder if there was an element of that with Trevor, because from all accounts, from Ninaki Pretty and a lot of other things, Trevor absolutely doted on Meghan. And so, of course, I think, again, it would have been whatever Meghan wants, Meghan gets. But along the way, Meghan would be knowing that he's got this developing production company. And I think she genuinely thought that this was her opening into her career. So this is why she would have stuck it out. I definitely feel that there's a different look with her, with Trevor, than there kind of is with Harry. But I think you've also got to remember that she's very young. So I think a lot of her manipulation was there, but it was still this very kind of young, so probably felt and got caught up in a lot of it, and probably did, I'd probably say, have more feelings for Trevor than perhaps that she did with Harry, which makes me then think that she wasn't born this way, that this was developed. So when you have that development, even at an early-ish age, there are moments when you can actually sometimes feel you can be quite genuine. You can come across quite loving, because if you think about the fact she held this friendship with Ninaki for a long time. So there would be a reason for that. So I'd imagine that probably Ninaki probably saw a side to Meghan that not many other people did. And I think that maybe a little bit with Trevor. So I think what then starts to develop is Meghan's ego. So then she starts to feel frustrated. But obviously in amongst this, she marries him. So in 2011, she marries, and they have this huge, lavish wedding. I think it goes on for like 3 or 4 days. From what people have said, that there was a lot of marijuana, and, there's a lot of drinking, and, and it's on these beautiful sandy beaches. There are pictures of her mum with her around this time, but I don't see, unless it's not available to me, but I couldn't see pictures of her father. Now, I don't know, perhaps if her father was there and he was videoing it, or he was part of the photography, so he was never in the photographs. But I couldn't really see anything that said that he was there. So I think, it seems to me that she was kind of very much caught up in this, again, getting what she wants. I think Trevor really did play into that with her, because he absolutely idolized her. And then I think then what was around 2000 and late 2011 or early 2012, Meghan then got Suits. Now, obviously, in amongst that, Trevor had given her a couple of little roles, but I think this was then leading to Meghan's frustration of, you've got this production company, why are you not putting me in these things, these films? Why are you not giving me a big role? But I think because Trevor didn't see her as a very good actress, but just didn't put her in anything apart from these little bit parts. So then she gets Suits. And I think this is when it started to change for her, because I think when she started to get successful, when she realized actually she was staying in Suits, they wanted her to stay on, that was when she started to maneuver herself away from Trevor. And I think this again really starts to show then Meghan as she gets older, this real calculated part of her. And what I also think is that Doria was well and truly back on the scene here. And I think that this is where Meghan really does develop a similar style to how I believe Doria was. So then, of course, what she does there is that she then decides that actually this isn't working for her anymore. Trevor no longer fits this because he couldn't give her what she wanted. Now she's got Suits. She doesn't need him anymore. So what does she do? She sends her rings back by FedEx, I believe, or UPS, and sends them back to him and literally blindsides him. And this is very typical of a narcissistic personality type. Once you are disowned, you are discarded, that's it. No going back. So this shows me that maybe early on she maybe adopted feelings where she had feelings for him, but along the way the frustration of him not giving her what she wants, she then was like, I want out. But she couldn't get out until she had a way of supporting herself and getting up that next ladder. So I truly believe she also thought that now she was in Suits, Hollywood was going to open its doors for her. You know, this was kind of like, this is I'm on my way here. So she literally dumps Trevor, breaks his heart, and then within a few months starts dating celebrity chef Corey Vitiello, who then starts maneuvering in the circles of course, Soho House, all of those areas, mixing with celebrities. Suddenly she turns into this foodie. She's got her TIG blog as well, by the way. All of this is going on. So she's got her TIG blog. And a few people have asked me about her TIG blog. Now, again, you got to remember, this is someone who is so desperate to be seen, desperate to be validated. So everything that she does is to get herself out there. Now, the one thing I will say, whether you like her or don't like her, and I don't like her, to be fair, I don't like her personality type and the type of person that treads on other people to get where she needs to be. But if you're looking at the way that she's maneuvered herself, she had whatever she set out to do, she's achieved to a degree. Because I will get to that tomorrow, because I don't actually think she's got everything that she wanted, but I think she's certainly been able to orchestrate and manipulate and maneuver herself to be successful, to have money. And I want to probably say infamy, because I don't think it's necessarily fame that she's got infamy. So this is what she kind of does. So the next person on the ladder is Corey, who, like I say, maneuvers in these circles, which opens all these other doors for her. So not only has she got Suits, great, this is hopefully going to open Hollywood. I'm now mixing with the Hollywood elite. I'm now mixing in circles that I never was able to mix in before, because Trevor held me back. And so that's kind of then starting then to kind of then that next rung on the ladder for her. Now, also what I found out is with Suits as well, is that once she started dating Harry, they actually started writing her out of Suits. So this whole thing of like she left because of Harry, no, they actually wrote her out. What I found funny was this whole thing of how sexist the Procter & Gamble advert was. And she was outraged by it. And yet, as soon as an opportunity come along for her to be what they call in the industry almost like a fluffer. So it's kind of like the sexual element to a series or a film. And if you look at Rachel Zane, her character, there was definitely that sexual element. Like she brought that sexual element, and I know that a few of you are going to be like, ooh, but it's true that it happens. A lot of companies do this. They do that for the male, basically for the male market, or female, if you like, whichever. But they bring that element in, and she was definitely, I would say, definitely that on Suits. And then she does other adverts, like the flipping burgers advert. I mean, look, if that is not sexual, then I don't know what is. And, you know, and I find it interesting that she, at such a young age, apparently she was so outraged at something being so sexist, but yet as soon as she gets those opportunities to make money, and they start throwing these adverts at her, she's kind of like, oh, I don't care what it is, I'm just going to do it, you know. And then she does 90210, where she does a scene where she's giving a blowjob. Can I say that on camera? BJ to somebody in a scene. Again, you know, if you're going to look at it that way, I mean, I personally, you know, however woman wants to be, but, you know, you've gone from kind of being outraged to, oh, whatever it is, I'll do it, you know. So it's kind of like, again, hypocritical, the theme of who they are, really, isn't it? So you have all of this going on, and then obviously then she starts dating Corey, then starts adopting again on her tig of like, you know, oh, I'm a foodie, starts going to restaurants and start doing, because what she does is she's a chameleon. So she will set herself up to be whatever she wants to be to fit in with the person that she's dating. So I'd imagine with Trevor, she kind of was, obviously she was a bit younger, but she would have adopted something there. And then when she was done with him and starts dating Corey, it's like, oh, I'm interested in food and I want to travel rounds and I want to do this, and I'm roasting chicken and, you know, and doing all of these things, because this is what she does. She mirrors, and I think I've done a video in this, and if I haven't, I will. She mirrors. So basically that is exactly how it sounds. It's like a mirror image. So whatever somebody's into or interested in that she wants to date, she will be interested in. Now, you can't sustain that because it's not true, but she certainly will do it to manipulate, and it will be part of her love bombing. It will be part of everything. And I say the sexual element that she brings into the relationship. So this is exactly what she's done. And then along the way, her friend circle will be the same. So obviously, because she's dating Corey, she gets to meet Lizzie Cundio, who I think she met, I think it was at a charity dinner or something. And she told various friends that she wanted to stay in London for at least 1 month. She wants to meet a British guy, and she wanted to spend time in the UK after her split from Trevor. But that's interesting to me, given how racist this country is to her, how bigoted we all are. But funny how she didn't see any of that while she was visiting here and staying here and coming over and, you know, meeting people. We were the most amazing country. And I think there's even an interview that I saw that she did, and it might have even been with Lizzie Cundy actually, where she actually says, I love England. I love how you all say darling and, you know, and other things. You know, I absolutely think this country's amazing. But yet, when it didn't go her way, we're an awful country. Never want to come back here. Hate it. You know, so again, while it suits her, it's fine. As soon as it doesn't suit her, it's no longer fine. And then she does everything she possibly can to badmouth something, to make other people believe that this is true, because it's important for her to have people flying monkeys, have people on her side. And this is exactly what she did. So she then utilised Lizzie Cundy, and then she basically orchestrated that with her to get her to me. And I think there was it was Ashley Cole, and Matt Cardle, apparently she was messaging, but they weren't particularly interested. And I think Matt Cardle went on to meet somebody else, and I think so did Ashley. I think he then went on to date Cheryl Cole, I believe. So they didn't quite work out. So of course at this point she's she's infiltrated the Soho House scene with Marcus Anderson, and she's still dating Corey. And then suddenly, lo and behold, she meets, or somehow it's orchestrated that she meets Harry. And I will do that video tomorrow, but it is also rumoured that she was dating Corey when she met Harry, and she literally just, I think Corey heard about it either online or something, that something was going on, but I don't even think she even dumped him. I think she just stopped seeing him. So she ghosted him, even though he's never spoken out about it and actually has been very respectful. But I think, again, this shows that the men that she dates, you know, because Trevor's never spoken out about her, you know, or said anything bad, and he must have been deeply hurt by her. But this is exactly the way a narcissistic personality type works. They will act like your best friend, like you are the person that they're the person you've been looking for your whole life, whether that be in a friendship or a relationship. They will infiltrate your life in such a way that you think that you don't know how you've never not been with that person. You know, and I hear this so often. It's like, you know, they're like my soulmate, they're like my twin flame, they're, you know, all of these things I hear. But the difference being is that as soon as you are of no longer used to them, like Lizzie Kundi found out, like Trevor found out, like Corey found out, and I'm sure various other, you know, even her best friend Ninaki, actually she was the one that decided to not be friends with Meghan anymore after the way Meghan treated Trevor. Now that says a lot to me. And I think there's more to it than this, because for someone to actually stop being friends with someone who you're best friends with since you were 2 years old, there's got to be a huge reason, I believe. And I do wonder if Meghan did things even then that were really not very nice. And she's even come out to say that she's not a nice person. She uses people and then she discards them when she's finished with them. She has this ability to shut people out. And that is very, like I say, that is very synonymous with a narcissistic personality type. So slightly a little bit longer, guys. So let me know what you think in the in the comments. Don't let me know what you think in the video, because that would just be silly. So let me know what you think in the comments, guys. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like more than one of my videos and you don't want to miss out on my future uploads, then consider subscribing to the channel, because it doesn't cost you anything and it really does help the channel grow. It helps the algorithm, and I appreciate the support. If you would like to become a Patreon or a member to the channel, you can, and the description is in the link is in the description. I can't get my words, I'm so tired. The link is in the description box below. And don't forget that you can still buy a bubble mug. The link to the merchandise is also in the description box below. So yeah, so if you've enjoyed this, I hope you have. And like I say, if you want to skip the waffle in the beginning, then please do. So this is part 3, and I hope you join me for part 4 tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. I love you, I appreciate you, and I respect you, and I'll see you soon. Mwah. Bye, Bubble family.